Hello everyone and welcome back to this week's video, and today we're going to carry on talking about the King Hezekiah's mistake, as we saw about in last week's video, towards the King Babylon we saw. And we understood about this in the prophecy of Isaiah, which he had said. So let's carry on to talk about this week's video. So thanking the Lord through our Savior Jesus Christ, let us carry on. As we saw in last week's video, we saw about how Isaiah's prophecy to Hezekiah's mistake towards the Babylon king fulfilled, and we understood how Daniel and his friends, we should say, were captured by Nebuchadnezzar, and Israelites were ruled by the Babylon kings. So now we're going to see how Hezekiah's reaction is towards the verdict that this will happen to the Israelites in a point in time, you see. So we're going to see what Hezekiah's response to this is in Hezekiah 39 chapter 8 verse. And Hezekiah says, "The word of the Lord you have spoken is good." Hezekiah replied, "For he thought there will be peace and security in my lifetime." This is a sad state of heart in the king of Judah. God announces the coming judgment, and all he can respond with is with relief. We can see that it will not happen in his in his lifetime, Hezekiah says. So we see this is a very selfish statement to say. We know what and how he surrendered to God, and we read about it where he tore his clothes and put on a sackcloth and went into the temple of the Lord, and he showed that his never give up attitude and gained the grace for showing those actions. Now the scriptures doesn't say even he is worried or shocked about the situation that he has put upon the Israelites, we see, for his fleshly actions against God's plan has pretty much blinded him from who he truly was. Rather, he was very satisfied with the verdict because this is not going to happen during his time period. For he said in the Acts, we can see another point, that he said, "At least there will be peace and truth in my days." So we can see this is a very selfish statement to say. There is no doubt that Hezekiah started out good, as we know, because we've read about his overall reign for the past few weeks as one of the outstanding godliness, as has been mentioned. Yet his beginning was much better than his end. Hezekiah did not finish off well, as we can clearly see in this situation, as he is completely blinded by his fleshly actions, and he is showing not any godly characteristics near the end of his life. But even after all of that power and grace God had given him, God gifted him 15 more years for that faith and utmost obedience he showed to God because of his life. But the added years do not make him a better or a godly man. Rather, it is making him more influential and more confident on himself and being much more fleshly, we can see. So we need to understand time or age doesn't necessarily make us better in this situation. Consider that time does nothing but pass away as we now are in our own lives. Time is only passing away as we are living lives. But we sometimes say time will tell, time will heal, time comes and goes, time will bring out the potential in me, we will say. But time will do nothing of that sort. We have said time will only come and go. It is the actions of how we use this time is what will change us. Hezekiah in this situation believed if he had more time, he could have shown more towards God because he had the time. But rather, Hezekiah did not use that time well because of that misunderstanding of what time really is, because time is something that will come and go, but how we use the time is what matters in our lifetime. And Hezekiah didn't make good use of this extra time that the Lord gave him. So it gives us a lesson and warning for us of how to utilize time wisely as God's children, as at one point we ourselves would understand what a stupid thing and we have done in our lives because of the time we have wasted and used inconsiderately. So making the best use of our time towards God is important because the days are evil. So we will continue more about this in next week's video. So I'll see you then. Bye.